Woke America is spiraling out of control and the meltdown is hitting biblical proportions. We've got the most unhinged takes yet, from Sonny Hostin pretending to be a theologian to federal workers throwing tantrums over being asked, "What are you actually doing all day?" Welcome back to the Kharisma Show. Now, let's dive into the liberal meltdown, starting with Sunny Hosting saying being anti woke is ungodly. Sunny Hosting is one of the most bitter, miserable women on TV, now believes that if you reject the less radical woke agenda, you're not a real Christian? Wow, you can't make this up. Take a listen.
It angers me when people are like, this woke stuff, it's got to go. That's telling me that you don't care about my lived experience. You don't care about the oppression of the LGBTQ community. You don't care about the oppression of the disabled. You don't care about the oppression of immigrants. You don't care about your fellow neighbor. And that is ungodly. That is not Christian.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Navarro jumps in to mock Christians. Take a listen to this craziness.
You know what the most ironic thing is? They don't care about it, and they don't care about it while wearing big fat crosses around their necks.
Yes.
Well,
Sunny Hostin trying to lecture anyone about Christianity is beyond laughable. This is the same woman sitting on one of the most hateful, racist, and bitter shows on television. She wouldn't know godliness if it smacked her in the face. But the craziness continues because we have more of Alina Navarro. Apparently, she's having a meltdown because the federal workers are just don't even know what to do because of that email received from Elon Musk. So she's thrown a fit over the email that asked them about their 5 weekly accomplishments. Take a listen.
abusive of federal workers, and it is just plain wrong.
And it's random.
It's abusive.
It's random.
It's abusive.
Yes,
to get an email?
I do think that I think the way that they are. Yeah, I think the way that they are treating them.
This is peak entitlement. Imagine telling your boss in the real world that keeping track of your work is oppressive. Luckily, Scott Jennings torched this nonsense. He wasn't buying this BS.
How is this abusive?
Scott, have you ever gotten an email from someone that said, you better do this or else you're going to resign?
Yeah, it's called having a boss in the private
sector. From someone who's not your boss?
The White House is every federal worker's boss. That's number one.
Elon Musk is not anybody's boss.
Scott, how is Elon going to evaluate? I mean, how is he going to evaluate the work of thousands of federal employees when he has no idea what they do?
He's not. The test was, are you even paying attention to your email? Are you even at your terminal?
Some federal workers, he sent it on a weekend. Some federal workers do not have access to their emails on the weekends. They just don't.
Did they go to work today? I mean, look, the amount of outrage, melting down, and sort of outpouring of emotion over this ought to tell you everything you need to know. We had a lady on CNN today, a supposed federal worker, who said she was infuriated by getting this email. She had time to go on CNN, but she didn't have time to send a 30-second email saying, well, here's what I was working on last week. This is what people in the private sector have come to hate about how they view the public sector. And I think there's a great many very dedicated public servants. But you said, it's about control. Yes, it's about control, and it's about finding out who is actually at their job working and who isn't, and do we need all these people?
And here's the kicker. A federal worker actually responded with common sense. Take a listen to this woman that has common sense.
Okay, so I am a federal employee that got an email this Saturday basically stating that I needed to highlight 5 accomplishments that I had last week, and to me that was not a huge deal. I am someone who likes to highlight my accomplishments, and it was sent over in about a email that took me six minutes, something like that. I used to work for the private sector for about 13 years, so I was held accountable every day. I had lists of things that needed to be done every day, and it was just not a big deal to me to send that out. So I just want to say that. I would say highlight the things that you do. Highlight, who you are as a federal employee and the things that you're accomplishing. Like, just say it. I would encourage you to do that.
So why are these government bureaucrats crying? Because they do nothing. I remember when I was in the corporate world, I had to produce status reports at the end of the week. Every Friday, I had to produce all the projects I've been working on. What is the status? What needs to be completed? That's a normal part of work life. Being accountable for when you're in the workforce and even having your own business, there is always accountability. So I don't understand why some of these federal workers are crying about it. And then we have people on The View like the Anna Navarros and the Sunny Hostings of the world, of the woke mentality and the delusional reality, crying about it. Really, it's really disgusting. But you know what? I have the perfect thing, the ribbon on this gift that keeps giving. Because counselor to the president, Alina Habba, she had the best response to this absurd government worker meltdown. Take a listen to what she had to say.
Can you clarify for federal workers who might be confused who to listen to, since Elon Musk's post is different from what OPM sent out?
I don't think it's, look, here's the reality of the situation. There's one person we're supposed to be listening to, that's President Trump, and what the American people mandated, which is what we're doing. People need to be accountable. You need to be able to answer the question. If you couldn't answer it yesterday, you have till today. But the reality is accountability is real. I can't not show up to work every day. I have to answer to the president. And by answering to the president, I answer to the American people. It's very simple. Would you want to pay somebody to do a job and they don't show up to work? I don't think so. I could name 5 things, 5 bullets, in about 5 minutes of me coming into the office every day. If you struggle to do that for a week, there's no excuse for that. Now, you can have an extra day to answer it, but you better be able to answer it.
What clarification can you offer workers who are confused?
I'm not sure why you're confused or why it's so hard to answer what 5 things you've done in the past week.
And what do you say to departments that have told their employees you don't have to answer?
Well, I think that there's reasoning behind that. You have to understand some of these departments, obviously, we work with top secret information that perhaps you're not supposed to disclose. There's a lot of complications that I'm not going to get into, but there's no question that every single cabinet member, every single person that was put into this administration wants the American people working, wants people back to work, wants to stop the Zoom calls, and wants to stop people from double dipping and having 2 jobs when taxpayer dollars are paying for you to come to work.
Is the White House investigating any of the DOJ assistants?
That's a question for DOJ and DOJ.
Are White House staffers included in the ask by Elon Musk? Did you turn in 5 things to President Trump that you did?
I received an email. President Trump knows what I do every single day. So for me to answer that email is incredibly easy. Frankly, the American people see what I do every single day. It's just such a non-issue. Think about the fact that we're having look at all of you standing here asking me why people are upset to answer to their boss, the American people, and the President of the United States, what you've done at work. What a ridiculous thing. I mean, it's as ridiculous as us having to say that boys can't play in women's sports. The fact that we are wasting American taxpayer dollars to even have to correct this is insane.
People that don't respond. In order to fire people who don't answer.
Firing people has been happening. It happens in every job. Is it outrageous to you that we're firing people? I mean, PPO has fired tons of people. Each department has fired tons of people. If you're not on an American first agenda, you're not here.
But will they be fired if they don't, just to be clear, will they be fired if they don't respond?
I think the president spoke on that. I'll refer to his statement. You will be held accountable. You will lose your job if you are not working.
But OPM said, I believe it was days afterwards, so it came out afterwards, that a failure to respond is not
Listen, it's like any job. We're going to ask you what you're doing. Each department is in charge. We have to look at what everybody's doing. You want to say that we're just going to go in and do something careless? No, we don't do things carelessly. But we are asking people to show us that you are working.
And what's going to happen to the message? You'll hire up, evaluate the message, and see whether this person is being effective and constructive that week, or just that we must respond to show that we exist?
I think every department will handle it in a coordinated effort, but the mandate is real. You have to show up for it.
Will it take staff time to read them?
Of course it takes people's time to read them. We're not asking them so that we put them in a wastebasket. We're asking because we want to know.
Is there anything you can share with whether the president is making calls today to have this vote in the House of Representatives?
I don't ever. You know me better than that. I don't speak for the president ahead of him. The president will speak for himself. And lucky for everyone in America, President Trump is on the news every day answering questions whenever you guys want. I think that's something that we really have to say, look, there's transparency like we've never seen. And that can cause confusion for people. I understand that. But just know that while we are being absolutely transparent, these are intricate things that we're dealing with. And there are teams of people coordinating, working together to make sure we make this country better. Thank you so much.
Exactly. Productive people don't have this problem. And this is exactly what I'm saying. Because if you're being productive, you have no problem saying what you've accomplished and what you've working on. Clearly, these workers that have a problem identifying 5 things that you've done for the week that you've accomplished and you've worked on, they weren't doing shit all. Pardon my language, but that's all I'm going to say about that. Now, on to our reaction segment. Now, this is all about a feminist career regret. A businesswoman just had a breakdown because she sacrificed the time with her kids to chase success. And this happens when we want to do all the things that men to do. I know there are times that we have to do as women, we have to provide for ourselves. But then there are some women that go overboard and they may have children, young children, and they figure that chasing that is going to be the best thing for them. But sometimes it doesn't work out that way. So let's hear what she had to say.
What's up, there?
He's not having a good day.
I'm sorry, man. Did anything happen?
Just the same stuff.
I get it, babe. Life's hard.
I know that I've actively worked towards the life that I have now. This isn't the life that I want, and it's just so frustrating to me. I've sacrificed my 20s. I've sacrificed all of the years with the kids being young, and I just don't think it was worth it. It's not even about the money, though. That's the thing.
What I was gonna say is, we're doing good for our age.
I'm just frustrated. The chaos and the hustle, and I'm just so tired of it. Always being pulled in a million directions. For the last 6 years, I've just not been the mom, the wife, the friend, the business owner that I've wanted to be.
Here's the thing, we always are told that we can have it all. But reality is, sure, you can have it all, but not necessarily all at the same time. Having the successful, being in the same momentum for all the things at all the times. Sometimes I find that that's not a reality. And here she is experiencing that reality that is not a reality. So she sacrificed the early years with her children so she can pursue her business, her dream, her being an entrepreneur. And, like I said, there's nothing wrong with being an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur. I'm an woman entrepreneur, but you need to know and be clear on what are those things that are more important to you at that time. Because like I said, sure, you can have all the things that you want. You can have it all. But sometimes, and most of the time, there's always sacrifice. Something is going to be sacrificed. And in this specific example, the time spent with her children when they were younger was sacrificed so that where she's at today. So I get it. I feel your pain, but this is part of life, right? This is the life that we choose, the life that we choose, the path that we've decided to go down. And there is sacrifices, there's risks, there's sacrifices. And unfortunately, you can't get that time back with your children that you've missed out. So let's continue.
Don't think I'm giving myself enough credit, though.
Because I've been spread so thin, it's just to not even execute best of my abilities just pisses me the fuck off. It makes me so mad. But then it's I realistically understand that that with everything that was going on, I did the best of a shitty situation. I get that. I'm just surviving and I'm not thriving in anything. I am. I am a shitty CEO. Because I'm never executing. I'm never executing to the best of my abilities because I can't. If I pour everything into this business like I'm supposed to in this role, then I'm a horrible person to my children. I cannot continue this conversation.
It sounds to me that you need support, darling. If you're a CEO and you're doing all the things by yourself, you're going to be stressed. You're going to have more days like this. If you're a CEO and your business is doing well and there's some level of success, then you need support in your life and in your business, specifically talking about the business now, to be able that you can have that feeling of satisfaction and accomplishment without feeling drained and stressful. And I mean, building a business is stressful on its own when it sounds like she's doing all the things. A CEO supposed you should be at that place where you're actually delegating and having other people there to do certain things, which frees up time for you where you can spend more time with your children. So it sounds like she needs some support here. I can tell that the husband is very supportive. I'm not sure what he does, but it sounds like she is the main breadwinner in the family, and she's having a hard time.
Because I'm losing my mind, but I am just not having.
I just want you to know you're doing good. I understand that there's ups and downs, and I do get that it's hard. I fully agree.
I don't want to keep trying to keep up. I do not want to. I want to.
You're gonna slow down.
I'm just so frustrated. I'm just so frustrated. Okay, well, let me go because you're just being. You're being logical, and I don't want to be logical.
I'm with.
She wants him to be emotional like her, and it's not going to work because if he's emotional like you're not going to feel supportive. But then again, he's being logical and she's still feeling like she's not being heard. And I get it. You just want someone to vent to, and your husband is doing the best that he can to support you in this moment. So be grateful that you have a husband that's so understanding and that he's listening to you and he's trying to be there to support you in his own way. So she's like, well, I gotta go because you're just being logical. Well, there you have it. Those are the woes of, and the harsh reality of modern feminism. And feminism never warns women about this. They tell you to have it all, like I just said, but they never mention the price and the sacrifice, right? Now she's realizing she can't get that time back. Welcome to reality, because I know for sure, and I'm sure a lot of women are waking up to the fact that feminism has lied to you. And that's a fact. Moving on to the raw and unfiltered, no holds bar reaction from real Americans. First up is this lady. She is 100% correct about all of these people that we see that, like the Joy Reids and the Roland Martins and the D.L. Hughley, and what their, her opinion about them is quite astonishing. Take a listen to what she had to say.
Any black person that listens to The View, D.L. Hughley, Joy Reid, Roland Martin, Pastor Jamal Bryant, Jasmine Crockett, life must really suck for them to encourage you to have a victim mindset as if you're oppressed, and they're making all this money just to sell you that. Life must really suck. You should really think for yourselves. You should really wake up. But good luck.
And there you have it. Life must really suck. So don't be brainwashed, in other words. Moving on to the Southwest passengers singing God Bless the USA. I mean, the entire plane was singing and was led with a MAGA hat wearing patriot. Take a listen to this.
And I won't forget the man who gave that right to me, and I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Amazing. Moving on to Rob Smith. Oh boy, he destroys Don Lemon in this, as Don Lemon is telling off Megyn Kelly about what she said about Joy Reid. And I shared this on the show yesterday. So take a listen to Rob Smith. I just love him. Take a listen.
Let's talk about how absolutely terrible Joy Reid has been to Black Republicans and Black conservatives. This person basically led online hate mobs against every major Black conservative figure, but called Black Republican Senator Tim Scott Uncle Tim online. Okay, obviously she was trying to make a play on Uncle Tom. So when that was trending, Joy Reid not only hopped into that, but elevated that as well. She had Byron Donalds on her show to try to bully him, to try to speak over him, to try to make him look stupid. She has used her platform on MSNBC to bully, denigrate, and smear and lead online hate mobs against every major prominent Black Republican figure in American politics. This is who Joy Reid is. I have no sympathy for this person. I have no sympathy for her tears. I hope that there are many more of them, because when you are a Black person and you use that platform to denigrate, bully, and smear Black people just because they are Republicans, just because they are Trump supporters, you are not for Black people. You are not pro-Black people. You are a token for your white liberal masters. You Democrats love to say this: tokens get spent, and you have just been spent by MSNBC.
And there you have it. I think that one was more about Joy Reid, and I'll share the one tomorrow on the show where he's calling out Don Lemon and his response to about Joy Reid. So it's priceless. And there you have it. You know, it's these liberals, the meltdown just keeps giving, and it's juicy, and it just tantalizes me when I see these crazy meltdowns online. And I said, I got to share it with you. So that's it for today. Like and share and subscribe, and let me know which meltdown made you really shake your head the most. And I'll see you tomorrow on the Kharisma Show. Take care and bye for now.